Hello guys, it is Shivam here. Welcome to the world of Flutter and Firebase as we are going to create a dynamic wallpaper app with admin panel and seamless API integration. On this video, we'll cover setting up Firebase as a backend, dynamic wallpaper rendering, carousel slider and many more. So after this video, you will be adding one more app to your app bucket list. Also, do not forget to hit that like button. I have been noticing that while many of you are loving our videos but haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please hit that subscribe button down below, which is totally free, so you won't miss out on any of the upcoming videos we upload on this channel. Now let's get started. Now before moving to the code, let me show you how your app will look alike at the end of this series and what all features you will learn on this series. So here you can see our wallpaper app, and in the home page you can see a user image at the top left position, and in the center you can see the app name, which is Wallify, and just below of it you can see a carousel slider where it is showing a top wallpaper of this app. Now we'll move to the search section where we have used a pixel API. So on the last part, I have teached how to set the pixel API in your wallpaper app and can search for any wallpaper through a search bar. Now in the search page, I will search beach here and will click to the search icon. So here you can see all the wallpapers that have been shown through the API, and it takes just a few seconds to show as many wallpaper you want by searching for that respective category. Now I will search for another category, which is nature, and will click to the search icon again, and it will show me all the wallpaper related to the search item that I have searched. Now let's move to the categories section, and here you can see different categories like wildlife, foods, nature and city. Now in the nature you can see a different wallpaper. Basically in the category section the admin can upload the wallpaper to that respective category, and that wallpaper will be shown in our app. So on this series, we are also going to use a admin panel from where the admin can upload the wallpaper to the respective category, and that wallpaper will be shown here. So you can see that how brilliantly our wallpaper app will be working, because firstly we can show the wallpaper through the pixel API, and secondly we can also upload the customized wallpaper to that respective category through the admin panel. So in both the way you can upload the wallpaper to your phone device. Let's move to the admin login page, and here we need to enter a unique username and the password so that we can directly move to the add wallpaper page and can upload the wallpaper. So our username will be Peter and the password 123456. Now I'll click to the login button and will directly move to the add wallpaper page. Now we can upload the image from our phone gallery. So I will click to the camera icon. Now I will upload the image and will select the category. So you can see the category option like wildlife, foods, nature, city that I have just shown you in the home page or the user side. Now I will select nature here and will click on add, and as you can see wallpaper has been added successfully. Now let's move to the home page again and we'll check that if our wallpaper has been added to the categories section, I mean in the nature section. Here you can see the image that we have just uploaded from the admin panel. So it is working brilliantly, and we can also upload the wallpaper by using the admin panel. Now I will show you how to save the respective image as the wallpaper in our phone device. Now I will search nature here, and when I will tap to the image that I like as a wallpaper, then it will cover a complete phone height and the width, and you can see that how brilliantly our app is working, and it looks really great. And you can see a set wallpaper button, and it has a feature like that image will be saved in the gallery by pressing this button. Now we'll click to the cancel button and can pop out this image and can select another image that we want. Now I'll select the random image from here, and again it covers a complete height and width of the screen, and it looks really great. Now I will set this image as a wallpaper, so I will click in the set wallpaper button, and the image has been saved in our phone gallery. So let's move and we'll check that in our phone gallery. And you can see the image that we have just saved from our wallpaper app, and the image has been directly saved in our phone gallery. Now we can set this image as a wallpaper in our phone app. So I have shown you all the features that we will be covering on this wallpaper series, and how brilliantly our app will be working by adding all these features. And you can set any of the wallpaper by searching the respective image, or by setting the customized wallpaper, or by uploading the customized wallpaper through the admin panel. So in both the way you can set the wallpaper in your phone device. Also, do not skip any of the process or part from this series, because each and every part will be necessary to create this app from the scratch. Now let's move to the code and develop this amazing app from the scratch. Now you can see that there is a check banner at the top right position of the app. So to remove a debug show check banner, let's move to the main.dart file and we'll write debug show mode check banner to false. And by making it to false, it will remove a check banner from the top right position. Now let's move to the lib folder and we'll create a new folder named pages here, and inside the pages folder I will create a new file named home.dart, and inside the home.dart file I will create a package name flutter material.dart. Now we'll write stateful widget, home, now scaffold, body, container, child, column. So as you can see that when I am writing the widgets in our home.dart file, then there is a blue line under each widget that I write on this dart file. So when you code, it doesn't look good with a blue underline under the each widgets. So to remove the blue underline from widgets, let's move to the analysis options.yml file, and I will add two lines in our rules, and it will directly remove the sum of the blue lines from the widgets. So here you can see that I have added the two lines in our rules. Now after saving the file, it will almost remove the blue lines from our widgets, and this will help us to code clearly in our VS Code. Now I will write my app name in our home.dart file. So I will use a text widget here, and inside the text widget I will write Wallify and will give the styling by using a text style. So we'll write style, text style, color, colors dot black, font size 25.0, and font weight dot bold. So our app name will be Wallify here. Now let's call the home page from our main.dart file, and here you can see the app name. Now let's move the text widget to the center. Now I want to provide the styling to my text widget here. So we need to add the some fonts in our VS Code so that we can use that fonts to give our styling to the text in our text widget. So let's move to the Google Fonts here, and here you can see that there are lots of fonts that you can use according to your need. So in the search bar, I will search a Poppins icon here. So I will write Poppins. Now I will use this font in our VS Code. So I will download the family from here. Now I will unzip the file Poppins. So in the Poppins, you can see that there are lots of styling like Poppins thin italic, Poppins thin, etc. that you can use according to your need. So but before that, let's create a folder name fonts here, and we'll paste a Poppins semi-bold dot ttf file here. So I going to use this font in my app. Now we need to call this font in our prospect YAML.file. So let's move to the fonts, and in the family I will write Poppins. Now I'll write exact file name that I have saved in the fonts folder here. So I will write Poppins semi bold.ttf. Please make sure when you are writing the specific font file name, then it should be exact what you have saved in the fonts folder. If anything will be mismatched, then you can't get the result in the text widget. Now run all the fonts here. Now let's move to the home.dart file, and here I will write font family and will give the family name Poppins. Now after saving the file, so you can see that frequently change our styling of our text widget. So I have teached you how to use a fonts in your text widget by using a Google Fonts, and you can use a different fonts according to your choice. So if you are a new viewer in this channel, then I have already made a video where I have teached you lots of things regarding the text widget and many more widgets. So you can follow that video. I will paste the link in the comment box. So by following that video, you can learn lots of things about different widgets and can know more about these widgets in more detail, which will help you to customize your app in more beautiful way. Now I want to show the user image here. So I will wrap a center widget with a row widget, and through image.asset I will get the user image here. So let's create a first images folder here, and in the images folder I will save the image that I want to show in our home page. So you can see that I have saved one of the JPG file in our images folder. Now let's call that images folder in the prospect.yaml file. So let's write asset images, and it will frequently call all the image that will save in the images folder. Please do not skip this process, otherwise you can't get the images from the images folder. So each and every step is necessary that I am doing in the prospect.yaml file. Now we'll write images and we'll write exact image file name. So we'll write boy.jpg, and through the height and width we'll give the image height and the width and fit boxfit.cover. Now clip react. The reason for using a clip react because I want to provide the border radius to my image. So I need to wrap up with a clip react widget, and will write border radius dot circular 60. So here you can see the user image. Now let's provide the margin from the left position. Now I want to provide some elevation to our image. So we'll wrap up with a material widget and will pass the elevation 5.0. Now let's provide the border radius to the material widget 2. So here it is done. Now let's provide the width between the image and the text. So we'll write size box width 50.0, sorry 80.0. Now let's remove the center widget here, because through the center widget we can't center the text in the row widget. So as I have explained you in the starting of the video that there will be a different wallpaper that will be shown in the home page, which will be uploaded by the admin from the admin panel. So we'll use a carousel slider here to show all the images in our home page. So it will automatically shows all the images one by one in our home page and can show most trending wallpapers in our app. So let's move to the Pub.dev and we need to write a carousel slider here because I need to copy the carousel slider package from Pub.dev to the PubSpec file so that we can use a carousel slider in our app. So paste the package in the PubSpec file just in the dependencies and run the package. Now let's move to the home.dart file again and here I will write carousel slider dot builder and in the carousel slider will pass a list or the wallpaper that we want to show in the home page. So let's move and create a list here. So we'll write list name wallpaper image and will pass a list here and in the item count I will write wallpaper image dot length so that we can get all the length of the wallpaper that will shape in the list wallpaper image. So you can see that I have saved all the image wallpaper in the images folder just for now because as I've told you that will show all the wallpaper from the Firebase but we are just creating the UI and after creating the UI we'll add a function from the Firebase. So we'll write images wallpaper1.jpg. So we'll write all the address of wallpaper 1, wallpaper 2 and wallpaper 3. So in the item builder, I will write context, index, and real index. Through the index, we'll get all the things that we have saved in the list name wallpaper image. And we'll write final res wallpaper image and we'll write index dot and through the wallpaper image we'll get all the index one by one and we'll show them through the widget name build image here. So let's create a widget name build image and we'll pass a string URL image. Basically in the URL image we'll pass the address of the image that we have saved in the images folder and in the index I will pass the index of that respective wallpaper that I want to show one by one in a carousel slider and will pass a container and in the container I will give the height media query dot of context dot size dot height divided by 1.5. Now, many of the new viewers who are watching my video for the first time, they might got confused why I've used a media query in a height. Basically, media query makes your app highly responsive. So, by using the media query in the height, you can use the height of the container accordingly if you want to test the app in a multiple device. So I will always recommend you to use a media query in your container when you are passing it to the height. Now we'll write child image.asset and we'll write URL to image and we'll write fit boxfit.cover. So if you want to learn more about the image widget, then I've already told you that you can follow one of my video in my channel where I've told lots of things regarding these widgets in a Flutter. Now we'll pass a width media query dot of context dot size dot width and we'll wrap up a image dot asset with a clip react so that we can give the border radius to the image widget here. So we'll write border radius dot circular 10. So in the build image we'll pass a image which will be res. As you know that we have already created a wallpaper image list here. So we'll get all the address of that respective wallpaper from the index like 0, 1, 2 in our res string, and we'll pass that to the build image function. And in the options, we'll write carousel options, and you can see that there are lots of things that you can use in the carousel option like reverse, autoplay, duration, page snapping, etc. So in the height, we'll give the height of the carousel slider that we want to show. So we'll again use a media query here. Now view portion fraction 1 here, and enlarge center page to true, and enlarge strategy dot height. I am writing all these things because I want to show my carousel slider according to the design that I have thought. So there are lots of things that you can use according to your way as you want to show the carousel in your home page. So let's restart the app. So I made a small mistake here. I have wrote a carousel slider in our row. So let's remove the carousel slider from the row widget and we'll paste it in the column widget. So after doing that, you can see the image that I have passed in our carousel slider. So let's provide the height from the top. So I will write size box height 30.0, and let's provide the margin from the right position. So we'll write right 20.0. Now let's provide some more border radius to the image. So we'll write border radius dot circular 30. So we'll change from 10 to 30, and you can see that after dragging the image, it will show the second image and the third image. So our carousel slider is working brilliantly, and you can see all the images that we have saved in our wallpaper list. So our second and third image is same. So let me change the image so that I can see three different images in our home page. So we have replaced a third image with the another image, and you can see the third image in our home screen. Now I want that it will automatically shows all the wallpaper in our home page. We don't have to scroll each image one by one, see all the images in our home page. So in the carousel option, I will write autoplay to true. So by making it to true, you can see that it loads the second image and the third image automatically without the user have to drag the image to see the next image here. So this is one of the important feature in the carousel slider to show all the images automatically in the home page. And it also looks good because by making the autoplay to true, it frequently loads the image one by one. So now let me show you the usage of viewport fraction. So if I will remove a viewport fraction, then you can see all the three images together in the home page. But it doesn't look good. We doesn't enlarge the center image here. So to enlarge the center image and make the image to use a complete height and width of the screen, I need to write viewport fraction 1 here. So there are lots of things in the carousel option you can use according to your choice and make your app really more attractive by using a carousel slider. Now I am going to show a dot indicator just below the carousel slider because I want to show how much image are in our home page by using a dot indicator. So when we'll move to the second image, then the dot indicator will move automatically according to the carousel slider move from first to second, second to third, and third to fourth. So to show a dot indicator, so let's move to the Pub.dev, and we need to copy the package name smooth page indicator, which will help us to show a dot indicator in our home page. So we'll move to the installing and copy the package from here and we'll paste it inside the POSPECML file. Now run the package in the POSPECML file. Now let's move to the home.dart file and we'll create a widget name build indicator, and in the indicator we'll show a animated smooth indicator, and in the active index we'll pass the active index of the carousel slider so that we can move a dot indicator automatically when the wallpaper move from one to the another. So we need to update the active index here so that we can successfully move the dot indicator from one to the another. So we'll create a int active index and we'll keep on updating the active index and we'll pass the active index to the dot indicator so that it can frequently update as soon as the wallpaper move from one page to the another. So we'll write active index 0. Now in the count I will pass a count of all the wallpaper that we have shown in the carousel slider, so that many dot we can show here in our home page, which will indicate that how much wallpaper are there in the home page. So in the count I am writing 3 here because we are showing 3 wallpaper in our home page, and in the effect there are lot of the effect that you can show according to your choice. So you can see swap effect, bomb effect, slide effect, jumping dot effect, expanding dot effect, etc. So there are lot of animations that you can show in your app according to your choice. Basically, this effect is something that will shown when the dot will move from one dot to the another. Don't get confused. I will show you how I will do that. So in the slide effect, so I'm going to use a slide effect here. Now in the slide effect, I will write dot width. So in the dot width, I will pass 15 here and dot height 15. Basically, this height and width will help us to provide the dot a specific size according to the number we enter in a dot width and the height. And in the active dot color, when the specific dot will be active, then the this color will be shown in that dot. So I am passing colors.blue. Now let's call the build indicator in the column widget and will provide the space between the carousel slider and the dot indicator. So we'll call a build indicator widget here and we'll center it with the help of center widget here. So here you can see the dot that I was talking about. So you can see that we have passed a count 3, so it shows a 3 dot in our home page. Now you can see that our carousel slider is keep on changing the wallpaper from one to the another, but our dot indicator is not moving automatically according to the carousel slider. So we need to pass a on change method in our carousel option so that we can frequently update the dot indicator index from one to the another. So we'll call a on page change function and we'll write index reason, and in the set state we'll update the active index that we have just passed in the build indicator widget, and we'll update the active index according to the index of the carousel slider. So we'll use a set state frequently update the active index according to the index of the carousel slider. So for an example, if the index of the carousel slider is 1, then it will frequently update the active index to 1, and the active index will help us to move the indicator from one dot to the another. So now let's hot restart it again, and here you can see that after moving to the second wallpaper active index, so here you can see that after moving to the second wallpaper our dot indicator move automatically with the help of active index here, and it's keep on moving according to the carousel slider. So our build indicator is also working brilliantly and our carousel slider and build indicator are moving according to the index that we have passed. Though I have told you there are lots of effect in the build indicator, so let me change the effect to jump dot effect, and you can see that after hot restart it again, it will move to the next dot by jumping from one point to the another. So by jumping dot effect, it will jump from one dot to the another by jumping dot effect. Now let's change it to the slide effect again. So there are lots of animation that you can use according to your choice. Now let's move and we'll create a curve bottom navigation in our home page so that we can frequently navigate to the different pages like search, categories and the home page. So we'll move to the Pub.dev and we'll copy the curve navigation package from here and we'll paste it inside the perspec.yaml file. So let's move to the pages folder and we'll create a new file name bottom nav.dart and we'll again import the package material.dart and stateful widget name bottom nav. So let's move and we'll create a integer current tab index so that we can get the index of that respective icon that we have tabbed in our bottom navigation bar, and in the list we'll write widget. We'll name the list name pages here, and in the pages we'll save all the page that will pass in our bottom navigation bar. So let's create a search.dart file here and we'll again import the package and we'll write a stateful widget name search here. Now let's move and we'll create one more file in our pages folder which is categories dart, and let's import again a material dart package and we'll create a stateful widget name categories here. Now let's move to the bottom nav and we'll call all the pages that we have saved in the pages folder and we want to show them in the bottom navigation bar. So first one is home and categories and the search. Now in the init state, I will call all the page to that respective string that we have just mentioned above. So for the home, we'll call a home.dart file, and for the search.dart file, and in the categories, we'll call a categories.dart file. Now we'll save all the dart file in the pages list so that we can show them in the bottom navigation bar by using the specific index. So first we are going to show the home page, then the search page, then the categories page. And I will create one more widget name current page. Now in the current page, I will show the home page here because I want that as soon as the app launches, then it will show first the home page and user can navigate to the search page and categories page by using a bottom navigation bar. Now scaffold bottom navigation bar and will write curved navigation bar. Though this is not my first time that I am using a curved navigation bar in the Flutter app. I have already made a series food delivery app where we have made the complete app from scratch with admin panel. where I have already used a bottom navigation bar in that series. So if you are a new viewer to this channel, then I will recommend you to follow that series too, which will help you to learn lots of things regarding the Flutter and Firebase. I will paste the link in the description box so that you can follow that series and can add one more app to your app bucket list. You can also follow some more apps like chat app, to do app, news app that will help you to learn lots of things regarding the APIs, payment gateway, Flutter widgets, Flutter packages, etc. Though in the home page you have used a carousel slider, but I have already used a carousel slider in our news app. So if you already followed a news app, then you might not face a difficulty to add a carousel slider in the home page. So in the items, I will pass all the icons that I want to show in our navigation bar. So first one is icon, icons dot home outline, and will give the color to our icon, which is colors dot white, and our second icon will be icons dot search outline, and third icon will be icons dot categories. So these are the three icons that I will use in the curve navigation bar to navigate into the three pages that I have just mentioned above. Now in the curve navigation bar, I will give the height 65, which will suggest the height of the bottom navigation bar, and will pass the color, which will be the customized color code. Now I want to show the animation duration, which will be the duration of milliseconds 500. By using the animation duration, it will suggest that how much time it will take to show the animation by moving from one icon to the another. So you can also pass a duration 500 seconds, and in the on tab will pass the index, and in the set state will show the current tab index equals to index. So by using the current tab index, I will show the respective page if the user have pressed on the respective icon. So this will help me to navigate to the different pages easily by using the respective index of that page in the pages list. Now let's move to the main.dart file, and we'll call a bottom nav function, and here you can see the all icons that I have been talking about. So here you can see the home page, search page, and the categories page. But I can't see my home page here because I think so I forgot to call a current page in the body that I want to show in the scaffold widget. So here you can see the home page. Now let's change the color of that respective icon so that I can see all the icons clearly. So we'll write a button background color colors.black and the background color colors.white. Now pass all the color to that respective icon so that we can see all the icons when we tap to that respective icon. So here you can see the search and category icon clearly. So I am changing a customized color code in our bottom navigation bar to make it more attractive for the users who are using the app so that they can see all the icons clearly in our bottom navigation bar. So we'll pass a color dot from ARGB and 25, 84, 87 and 93. So this is a customized color code that I am going to use for our bottom navigation bar, and it also looks really great with a UI that we have just wrote in our home page. Now let's move to the categories page. So we'll first make the UI in our categories.dart file. But before moving to the categories page, I have a small request from you. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button till now, then please hit that like so that you won't miss out on any of the content we upload on this channel, and you won't also miss the videos that will keep on uploading in our wallpaper series. So first I am going to create a headline for our categories.dart file, which will be the categories. Then we'll show all the categories one by one in the form of the list, so that user can tab to that respective category and can get all the wallpaper for that respective category, and then can use them as their wallpaper in their phone device. So we'll copy the same text widget that we have wrote in the home page, and we'll paste it to the column widget, and we'll rename it to the categories. So here you can see the text. Now I will center the text by using the center widget, and will give the margin from the top. So we'll use h inside dot only top 50.0. So here I will create a container, and I will use a stack widget here, because I will use a respective image for that category, and just above the image I will show the name of that respective category. Whenever you want to overlap two widgets one over the another, then you can use a stack widget here. Basically, stack widget can help us to write one widget over the another. So in the container, I will write decoration, box decoration, and will first pass the border radius dot circular 20. Now we'll give the width media query dot of context dot size dot width, so that it can use the complete width of the screen. Now we'll pass the image that we have saved in the images folder by using image.asset. So we'll call a wildlife.jpg image, and we'll pass a width media query dot of context dot size dot width, and we'll use a height 300 here, and fit boxfit.cover. So here I can't see the image, so I have wrote a wrong file name here. Our W is small, so we'll change it to a small letter. Now here you can see the image that we have saved in our images folder. Now let's provide the margin from the left position. So we'll write left 20.0 and right 20.0, and from the bottom, and we'll give the height from the top. So we'll use size box height 20.0. So let's decrease the height of the image to 150, maybe 180. So it's look good. Now we'll provide the border radius to the image by using a clip react widget. As you can see that I have already provided the border radius to our container, then why I'm going to use a border radius again by using a clip react widget to give the border radius to the image. The reason is that whenever you are going to write a container and provide the border radius in the container, then it won't give the border radius to your image. So whenever you want to provide a border radius to the image, then always wrap up a image widget with a clip react widget and pass the border radius to your clip react widget. So this was a small hint from me to how to use a clip react widget and give the border radius to your image. So I'm going to provide lots of hint in this wallpaper series, which will help you to make your coding easier and learn lots of things regarding the Flutter widgets. Now I will write container and will overlap a image widget here. So in the decoration, we'll pass a color colors.black 38. I'm using a color black 38 because I want to show a text just over this image. So to show the image clearly, I need to give a black color to that respective image, and to show the white text clearly over this image. So we'll use our text wildlife, and we'll give the styling text style color colors dot white, font family poppins, and font size 20.0, and font weight dot bold. So here you can see the image. Now let's bring it to the center. So we'll wrap up with a center widget, Also increase the text size to 28 and will change the color to black 26 and will pass a border radius to the container. So here you can see that I've created a first category name wildlife here by using the stack widget in our container widget, and here it's look really great. Now let's move and create some more category in our categories.dart file. So I will copy the same container code that I've just wrote now and will paste it below and will just change the image file name and the text. So here you can see that I have created a 4 category in our categories.dart file. So first one is wildlife, second one is food, third one is nature, and fourth one is city. So I have already told you that there will be also a admin panel in this app. So through the admin panel, the admin can upload the respective wallpaper to the user app by using the respective category, and they can upload the wallpaper to the Firebase storage and will use that image to show them in our app. So here is our home page and we have made the category page in our last video. Now let's move to the search page, and here first I will add the headline search here. So we'll copy the same text widget from our home.dart file and will paste it to the search.dart file and will change it to search. So we'll write scaffold, body, container, child, column, and we'll paste the text widget here and we'll change the text from Wallify to search. And here you can see the text in our search.dart file. Now we'll make it to the center by using the center widget, and I want to provide the margin from the top. So I will write margin edge inside dot only top 50.0. So here you can see the headline of our search.dart file. Now just below the text, I will show the text field so that user can enter the text and can search for the respective wallpaper they want to add in their phone device. Now I'll write container with media query dot of context dot size dot width. Now decoration, box decoration, and we'll pass the color, and we'll pass a customized color code. So we'll write 0xFF. So if you have already watched some of my apps that I have made from the scratch, like chat app, food delivery app, etc., then you already know that why we start the customized color code with 0xFF. But if you are a new viewer, then I want to explain you that when you are writing the customized color code, then always start with 0xFF so that it can read the color code that you will pass in the color function here. If you are thinking that why I have used a media query, then media query is something that makes your app highly responsive. So always use a media query while passing a width to the container so that you can test the app in the multiple devices and can make your app highly responsive. Now we'll write child text field, and here you can see the text field and the container. Now let's provide the margin. So we'll write margin edge insert dot symmetric horizontal 20.0. Now here you can see the line in our text field that doesn't look good. So to remove this line in our text field, I will write decoration, input decoration, border, input border dot none. So while writing input border dot none, it will frequently remove the line from our text field. Now I will pass a search icon here so that user can tap to that icon and can search for that respective wallpaper that they have wrote in this text field. So we'll write suffix icon icons dot search outline. So if you want to provide the icon in the last position of the text field, I mean the right side of the text field, then you have to use a suffix icon here. And if you want to provide the icon in the left side of the text field, then you can use a prefix icon here. So if you want to know more about these widgets, then you can follow one of my video where I have told in more detail about these widgets like text field, container, text widget, etc. So by watching that video, you will get much more detail about the widgets and how to use that widgets in the Flutter app. Now we'll provide the customized color code to our icon. So we'll write color and we'll pass a customized color code. This is the color that I have used in the bottom navigation bar. So for an example, if the user search cartoon here and will click to the search icon, then the app will shows all the wallpaper related to the cartoon and user can select any of the wallpaper and can set them in their phone device. Now to show all the wallpapers regarding the text that the user will enter in this text field, we will use a API here. As I have already told you that there will be a API integration in this Flutter app and also a admin panel from where the admin can upload the wallpaper from the admin panel. Now to show the wallpaper for that respective text that the user have entered in the text field, we will use a Pixel API here. So let's move to the Pixels website and here you can see the pixels.com and we are going to use Pixels API in our Flutter app because it is free and it doesn't cost anything to use the API in our Flutter app. So it contains lots of image in the portrait form which will be perfect for our wallpaper in our phone device. So first we need to sign in our pixels.com website. So I have already signed in by my Google account. Now let's move to the image and videos API and we'll tap to the your API key and here we need to write a project name so that it can create a API key. Now in the project name I will write Wallpaper App. Now I will select a category. So I will tap on other and here we need to explain. So here we need to explain where we are going to integrate the photos and videos. So we are going to use these photos and videos in our Wallify app. So I will write I want to use the photos in my Wallify app so that user can set them as a wallpaper. Now we'll check box the term and the services. Now I'll click to the generate API key. So here you can see that my API key has been generated. Now I will use this API key to call the API in our Flutter app. Now let's move to the documentation and I will show you what API we are going to call in our Flutter app so that we can search for the respective text that the user will enter in the text field. So here you can see the search for photos and we are going to search for that respective photos in our search.dart file. So I'm going to use this API here. So it is already a get method and through the get method we'll get all the images from that respective API and we are going to use exactly this API in our Flutter app. So we are going to call this API and through this API we'll get all the images. So here you can see that the response after calling the link that I've just shown you here. Now in the response you can see that it will show a total result of 10,000 when the user will search a nature here. So let me explain you how we are going to use this API, and through this API how we can get the images by using a response. So here you can see the curly braces which indicates the map. Now in the total result, this is a key value pair. Basically a map is a key value pair. So our total result is string and 1000 may be a dynamic here. So if you have followed my more videos in my channel, then you already know that use of map string dynamic to upload the data to the Firestore database. And this is the same map that has been shown in our API. So here is a string page and the dynamic character 1. So here in the photos you can see a square bracket. Many of the users might think that what really square bracket do here. Basically square bracket suggests a list of map here. Basically when you are using a list, then you already know that we create a square bracket, opening and close square bracket that indicates the list. So in the photos there are lots of map which is in the form of the list. I hope that you are not getting confused. I'm trying my best to explain you in as easy way as I can. So if you have any questions regarding the API or anything, you can comment down in the comment box, or you can directly DM me in my Instagram ID so that I can give you a quick reply in my Instagram ID. So in the photos there is a first map, and in the map you can see that, so we are going to get a URL of the image, and you can call, if you want to show a photographer name, photographer URL pic, photographer ID, etc. But I am going to call a URL in our photos list, and in the SRC you can see that we are going to show a portrait which will be a correct image to show the wallpaper in our app. And I am also going to call a large landscape and medium image too, so that I can show you how to call some more links in the map. Now let's move to the code again, and we are going to call the API that I have just shown you now. So in the lib folder, I will create a new folder named models, and inside the models folder, I will create a new file name photo model.dart, and here I will create a class name photos model, and in the photos, as I have shown you in the API, going to call URL. So we'll write string URL. So I will write photos model this dot URL, so that we can pass the URL to our class name photos model. Now I'll create one more class name src model, and will show all the key value pairs in our src map. So we are going to show a portrait. So we'll write string portrait and string large, string landscape, and the string medium. So these are all things that I am going to call from my src map. Now I will call all the things by using src model this dot landscape and this dot large, this dot medium, and this dot portrait. Now I will write factory photos model dot from map. There is a map, so we'll write dot from map, and we'll pass a map string dynamic parse JSON, and through the parse JSON we'll call all that respective string and will pass it to the photos model. In the photos, you can see that there is a URL. So we'll write URL parse JSON and we'll write exact string name URL. We also need to pass a src here because src is also present in our photos list. So we'll write string src this dot src. In the photos list you can see the src map. So we need to write src model dot from map because src is in the form of the map. So we'll write parse json src. So in the src model I will write factory src model dot from map. Now I will write map string dynamic again and will name the string dynamic map to src json. And as I have shown you that src is also in the form of the map, so we'll write src model. Sorry, I made a small mistake here. We need to remove a string in our src because we are passing a map in our src model. So we'll write src model and we'll write src. Now in the src model we are going to call a portrait. So we'll write portrait src json and we'll write portrait. Now in the large I will call a large string and same for the landscape and medium. Now let's move to the search.dart file and we'll call the API from here. So we'll first call a list name photos model here and we'll write photos and we'll create a new list and we'll write text editing controller search controller equals to new text editing controller. Basically text editing controller is something that help us to control the text that the user will enter on this text field. And through the search controller we can pass the text to the API and we can show all the images in our app. Now in the text field I will write controller search controller. Now we'll write get search wallpaper function here and in the get search wallpaper function we'll call the API. So we'll write async await. Now in the await we are going to call a HTTP because as you know that the link of our image is in the form of the link which start with HTTP. So we need to call a HTTP package from our Pub.dev. So we'll write HTTP and in the HTTP I will click in the installing and will copy the dependency from here and will paste it inside the pub.yaml file. Now we need to import the package http in our search.dart file so that we can use this. So we'll copy the import package from here and we'll paste it inside the search.dart file and we'll write as http. Please do not forget to write as http here, otherwise it will throw the error when you call the http in the get search wallpaper function. I am facing the error because it doesn't call the http package from the pub.yaml file. So let me see what we need to do to overcome this error. So in the new http package there is some problem, you can use this exact package in your app to call the HTTP. Now let's save the complete package from here, and you can see that error has been gone and it frequently loads the HTTP in our app. Now I will write await HTTP dot get, and in the URL we'll pass the link of the API that we need to call. So let's move to the Pixels website and we'll copy the exact search API that I have shown you here, and we'll paste the link. Tell you something that when you are pasting the HTTP link in the http.get, then always use uri.parse here so that it can frequently parse the link and can call the API frequently in our app. Now, in the header, we'll pass the API key which we have created in our Pixel website. So we write authorization. Now let's move to the API that we have generated. Now I'll copy this API key and we'll paste it in the authorization. Now, after calling the API, I want to pass all the details in our photos model, and we'll save all the details one by one in our photos model list. So we'll pass a map string dynamic and we'll name the map JSON data equals to JSON decode. Now we'll write value dot body. Now in the value.body, we'll decode the value that we get in the form of the map that I've just shown you now, and through that map we'll get each string detail and we can save them in our list. So we'll write JSON data photos. So here you can see that I'm calling this string, and in this string there is a list of map. So I will write dot for each, and it will get each map from the list of the map, and will name element here. I hope that you are not getting confused, because if you are using the API for the first time, then you might face a difficulty to understand each code that we write when we call the API in our Flutter app. But as soon as you practice more and more by adding more APIs to your Flutter app, or by following my complete video, because this is not the first time I'm using the API in my Flutter app. So if you are the old viewer in this channel, then you know that we have already used a API in our news app. So after making the wallpaper app, you can follow the news app, because it will help you to learn lots of things regarding the API integration in your Flutter app, and both the apps will really help you to master the API integration and learn lots of things regarding the Flutter. So we'll write photos model equals to new photos model. So here you can see that it telling us to fill the SRC, because we have passed a required condition in our photos model. So let's move to the photos model.dart, and we need to remove a required function from here, and we'll give a null string. So we'll add a question mark in our SRC model, and we'll remove a required text from here, and it is good now. Now we'll write photos model equals to photos model dot from map. So as I have shown you that in the photos there is a list of map. So to get each map from the list of map, I will use a photos dot from map, and will keep on adding the map by using photos.add. So here you can see that in the photos list, this is the first map that I have been talking about. Now we'll use a set state so that it can frequently add one map after the another in our photos model. So in the API which we have passed, you can see the query equals to nature. Basically, in the query, will pass the text that the user have been searching. So if we write cartoon in our text field, then we'll click in the search icon and it will frequently call this link here, and we need to pass a respective text in our query section so that it can show all the wallpaper or the images related to that query that the user have passed. So to pass that search text, we'll create a string search in our search wallpaper function. So we'll write string search query, and in the query we'll pass our same search query. Now let's move to the text field, and when the user will tap to the search icon, then we'll pass the text that the user have entered on this text field. So we'll wrap up with a gesture detector and we'll call a get search wallpaper function, and we'll pass a search controller. As I have already explained you, to handle the text in the text field, we'll use a controller, and to get the text that the user have entered in this text field, I will write search controller dot text. Now let's move to the lib folder and we'll create a new folder name widget here, and inside the widget folder I will create a new file name widget.dart. I'm creating this file because I will create a UI for our images that will be in the form of the grid view, and we'll call this widget in our search page. So we'll create a widget name wallpaper, and we'll write list photos model list photos and build context. So we need to call a photos model dart here so that we can get all the images from the photos model that we have just saved by using a get search wallpaper function in our search.dart file. Now in the return, we'll write container, and as I have explained you that will show the wallpaper in the form of the grid view. Now we'll write padding edge inset dot symmetric horizontal 16. Now we'll write child. Now in the child I will write grid view dot count, and in the cross axis count I will write 2. Basically cross axis count will help us to show how much image you want to show in the row position. I want to show the two images in my row position, basically in the cross axis, so I will write 2. Now we'll write child aspect ratio 0.6 main axis spacing. Basically main axis spacing is something that shows the space between the images that will pass in the grid view in the main axis form, and the cross axis spacing is the space between the two images in the cross axis form. I will show you why I have wrote all this thing in the grid view. Now we'll write list photos dot map and we'll pass a photos model, and we'll return grid tile dot to list. Now in the child I will write hero. Now many of the viewers might be thinking that where this hero widget come from. So this is not that hero that you usually see in your movies. Basically the hero in our Flutter, it helps us to get all the list that we have saved in the photos model, and we can pass them in the tag, and this will help us to show all the list one by one in the grid view. And through the hero widget we can also give a different styling and animation to your list that you will pass in your grid view. So we'll write photos model.src.portrait. So as you already know that we have saved all the portrait image link in our photos model that we are getting from the src map. So we'll write photos model.src.portrait and it will help us to get all the portrait link of that specific map that we have saved one by one from our photos list. As you know that our image is in the form of the link, but we can't use a image.network here because we need to use a kekek network image package, and through this network image package we can show all the images from the internet and we can keep them in our kekek directory. So we need to copy this package from here and we'll paste it inside the perspecml file. Though if you have followed my news app, then you already know the difference of image.network and kekek network image, because I have shown both the case while calling the image from our API, where I have first used image.network and there I have shown that how we are facing the error by using image.network, and after using the kekek network image we can successfully load all the images from our API. I am giving the example of news app again and again because to learn the API, wallpaper and news app are the best choice if you want to learn lots of things regarding the API integration in your Flutter app. Now we'll pass kekek network image in the child, and in the image URL I will write photos model.src.portrait. Let's move to the pixels documentation again, and here you can see that we are going to call this link in our portrait section for the each map in our src. Now we'll use fit boxfit.cover so that it can frequently cover the space that we have provided in the container or in the grid view dot count. So we have wrote a complete UI for our grid view, like how we want to show the image in our search.dart file. Now let's call this widget in our search.dart file. So we'll move to the column and we'll write size box height 20.0. Now wallpaper, and in the list photos I will pass the photos that we have saved one by using the search wallpaper function, and we'll pass that to our list photos list, and this list will help us to show all the image in the grid view by using the hero tag. Now the wallpaper widget we have called in the search.dart file, we need to wrap up with a expanded widget, because if you didn't wrap up with a expanded widget and directly move to the search page, then it will frequently throws the render box error here, as you can see, because the wallpaper widget doesn't get a hint to cover how much space in the screen. So by using the expanded widget, we will suggest the wallpaper widget to use as much space as he can in our phone device. The API we have called, there is a per page equals to 1. Now if it will be 1, then it will show just one image in our grid view, but we can set how much image we want to see when we will search for the specific image that we are looking for. So I'm writing 30 because it will then show me a 30 images in my screen. Now let's move to the widget.dart and we'll also give the padding edge in set dot all 4 so that I can see each image clearly. Now let's hot restart the app and let's move to the search page, and in the text field I will search a beach here, and it's going to show all the images regarding the beach. Now I'll click to the search icon and you can see that it frequently shows me all the images from our API that we have set, and it shows a beach images, and we can set these images as our wallpaper in our phone device, and in total it shows me a 30 images, and you can increase the image according to your wish. So our API is working brilliantly and we are calling images in our app by using a search bar. Now let's move and I will write coding and will see all the images regarding the coding. Now I'll click to the search icon and I think so as you know that we are getting all the images in our photos list. So first we have searched beach, then it have saved all the images in our photos list, then we have searched coding, then it might added the coding image to that same list. This is what I was talking about. So we need to set up this process so that if we search beach and will move to the second search, then it will frequently clears the screen and can show me the images regarding the search item I have searched. So let's set up this process. So I will create a bool character name search here and will assign it to false, and in the set state if the user have searched for that respective text, then will make the search to true. If the user have searched for that respective text in the text field, then we'll remove a search icon from here and will show the close icon so that it can clears the screen and we can move to that second search. So if search will be true, then we'll show a close icon here. Now we'll wrap up the icon with a gesture detector, and in the onTap method I will write photos equals to empty list so that it can frequently clear the screen and search to false and set state. Now let's hot restart it again and we'll test the app. Now let's move to the search icon and we'll again search beach text here, and it will frequently shows me all the image regarding the beach that I have searched. Now here you can see that it frequently shows me a close icon, and when I'll click to this close icon and it will clear my screen in just few seconds. Now I can search for that second item. So I'm writing coding and will click to the search icon here, and it shows me images regarding the coding, and this is the best way because like this we can search as many items we want and we can set them as our wallpaper. Now I will search London here and again it shows me all the images for that respective item that I have searched. So you can see that we can search for anything by using this search bar, and it will take just few seconds to show me images regarding the search item that I have searched. Now let's move and we'll create the admin panel so that user can access the admin panel by the unique username and the password. So first we are going to create the login page UI, then we'll connect it with a Firebase. So we'll move to the leaf folder and we'll create a new folder name admin here, and inside the admin folder I will create a new file name admin login.dart. Now we'll import the package and we'll create a stateful widget name admin login. Now scaffold, and in the scaffold we'll pass a background color. Now to pass a customized color code we'll write color 0xFF and we'll write customize color code here. Now we'll write body, container, child, and we'll write stack, children. Now in the stack widget, we'll first pass a container. So we'll write margin edge inset dot only top and we'll pass a margin from the top by using a media query function so that we can provide a fixed margin from the top. Now we'll write padding edge inset dot only top 45.0 and from the left and the right. So here it is done. Now we'll provide the height. So I want that the height to use a complete height of the screen. So we'll write media query dot of context dot size dot height and we'll provide same for the width so that it can use complete height and width of the screen. Now we'll write decoration, box decoration, and in the box decoration, first we'll pass a gradient, linear gradient. So you already know that in the linear gradient we pass a colors where we can mix two color in the container and can give the specific color to the container. So if you want to mix two or more color in the container, you can use a linear gradient color here. And if you want to start the first color from the top left position, then you can also use a begin end function in the linear gradient. So I will write begin alignment dot top left and it will suggest the first color to start from the top left position and end the second color in the alignment dot top right position. Now we'll write border radius and we'll provide the border radius to the container. So we'll write border radius vertical and we'll provide the border radius from the top position and we'll write radius dot elliptical. I want to provide the border radius from the x and y axis of the container. So we'll pass a media query dot of context dot size dot width to use a complete width from the x axis and we'll pass a fixed number to the y axis. So as I have shown you in the starting of the video that the admin panel there is a curve container, so we need to use a elliptical here. Now let me show you what all things I am writing in the admin login page. So we'll call admin login page from here and here you can see the curve container and it looks really good and you can see a mixture of two color. Now we'll write container margin edge inset dot only left 30.0 right 30.0 and from the top. So we'll write child and we'll use a form widget here. Basically form widget will help us to check if the user have filled the text field or not. So if the user have forgotten to fill the text in the text field, then we can pass the text that the user have forgotten to fill this text field. So by using the form widget, we can check if the user have filled all the text field or not. So we'll write child column children and in the text we'll write let's start with admin and it will be a headline of our admin login page. Now we'll pass a style text style and we'll give a color. So here you can see the headline of our admin login page. Now let's provide the height because I'm going to create a container just below the headline where the user can enter the username and the password. Now we'll write material widget and we'll provide the elevation and border radius to our material widget. Then we'll use a container and we'll pass a height by using a media query. Now you might be thinking that why I'm using the media query again and again in the height of the container. Basically, media query is something that make your app highly responsive. And through this media query, you can check the app in your multiple device. So I will always recommend you to provide the height in the media query to make your app highly responsive. Now in the decoration, we'll write box decoration and we'll pass color colors.white and border radius dot circular 20. Now in the container, we'll write child, column, children, and here I will create a two text field, one for the username and another for the password. So let me create this two text field here. So here you can see the container and the material widget we have wrapped up to a container, and in the column widget you can see a text field, but we need to provide some more decoration to the text field so that we can easily enter the username here. So I will use a text field here, basically a text form field. You already know that we have already used a form widget while writing the code in our scaffold widget, because as I've told you, we can validate that if the user have entered anything in the text field or not. So through the validator, we'll check that if value is equals to null or empty. So if it is null or empty, then we'll return please enter username to the user, suggesting the user to enter the username, then move to the admin panel. Decoration, input decoration, and in the input decoration you can see a line over here in the text field. So to remove this line over this text field, we need to write border input border dot none, and by using this function you can easily remove a line from the text field. Now we'll pass hint text, hint style. So here you can see the text field username where the user can enter the admin login ID. Now we'll copy this text field again and we'll paste it in the column widget for the password. And we'll change the text to please enter password and hint text to password. So here you can see one more text field. Now we'll create a customize button here, login. Through this button, we can check if the user have entered the correct username and the password, and if they, then will directly move the user to the admin panel from where they can upload the wallpaper to that respective category. So here you can see our customized button name login. Now, if you have followed my other series like e-commerce app, quiz app, where we have used the admin panel, then you already know to create this admin login page. I am using this design again and again for the admin login page because in this admin login page there are lots of things that you need to know by the features we provide in the scaffold widget like curve container, material widget, So there are lots of UI design that we usually use in our admin login page. So I prefer to use this design again and again for the new viewer to understand lots of things regarding the Flutter widgets. Now we'll create a final global key and form state, and through this global key we can check that if the user have entered the text in the respective text field or not, and we'll write text editing controller user name controller equals to new text editing controller, and through this username controller we can get the text that the user will enter on this username text field, and we can handle the text accordingly by using this controller, and we'll create a same controller for the password. So here it is done, and we'll pass the respective controller to each text field, and we'll write key form key to validate the text field. So here it is done. Now we'll wrap up a login button with a gesture director. Now we need to connect the app with a Firebase because we have made a complete UI for our admin login page. Now the reason for connecting the app with the Firebase is because I want to check that if the username entered by the user is correct or not, and will match that respective username from the Firebase Firestore. And again we are going to upload the wallpaper to that respective category, so we need to use a Firebase storage and Firebase Firestore here. So let's move to the Firebase, and we'll first project name which is Wallify. Now click on next. Now click on continue. Now use default account for Firebase, click on create project. So as you can see, Firebase is creating a project, so wait for a few seconds. So here it is done. Now click on continue button and we'll directly move to the Firebase. So here in the home page, you can see that we can connect the iOS, Android and web app with the Firebase. So first we are going to connect the iOS app, then we'll move to the Android app. So we need a Apple bundle ID here. So let's move to the Xcode, and we need to copy the bundle identifier from there and paste it in the Firebase. So move to the runner, signing and capabilities. Now copy the bundle identifier from here and paste it in the Apple bundle ID. Now click on register app. Now download the Google service-info.plist file, and if you have any other old plist file, then please make sure you remove them and rename the new plist file. Now we'll move to the info. Now we'll move to the runner and we'll paste it below the info. Now click on finish. So here it is done. Now click on next, 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 continue to the console. So as you can see that we have successfully added the iOS app here, and it takes just a few seconds to connect the iOS app with a Firebase. Now let's move to the Android app. Now we need a Android package name. So we'll move to the Android build.gradle file. Now we'll copy the application ID from here and we'll paste it in the Android package name. Now click on register app. Now before downloading the Google services.json file, you can see on the right side how the Android app is connected with a PC through a USB cable, and you can run a real app to your real Android device by just using the USB cable. So if you don't know how to run the app on your real device, I have already made a video on my channel where I have shown how to run the app on your Android device step by step and how to enable a complete settings to run the app directly from your PC. So if you haven't followed that video, I will suggest that you too watch that and can learn how to run the app on your real Android device. Now let's move and we'll download the Google services.json file and we'll paste it in the Android app folder. Now click on next. Now we'll copy the plugin ID from here and we'll move to the Android build.gradle file and we'll paste it in the class path. Now we need to change some of the line of the code in the class path. Do not forget to use any of the colon or full stop here in the class path because it may frequently throws the error if you forget to use any of the colon and full stop from here. I will request you to follow along with me and make this wallpaper app from scratch. So here is the complete code for the class path and it should be exactly what I have wrote here. Now let's move and we'll copy this another plugin ID and we'll move to the Android build.gradle file and we'll paste it in the apply plugin section and we'll again remove a double inverted comma and brackets. Now we'll copy the implementation ID or dependency and we'll paste it in the dependency section and the another dependency. So these are the two dependencies that we need to add in the dependencies. Now click on next, continue to the console. So as you can see that we have successfully added the iOS app and Android app here with a Firebase. So if you haven't hit that like button till now, then please do not forget to hit that like button down below. Now let's move and we'll enable the settings for the Firestore database so that we can directly upload the data from our Flutter app to the Firestore. Now click on create database. Now next click on create button. So as you can see that Firestore is setting up some security rules. So wait for a few seconds. Now move to the rules section and we need to change a rule from false to true. Please do not forget to change this command from here because by changing it to true you can only upload the data to the cloud Firestore. So we'll change from false to true. Now click on publish button. So here it is done. Now we'll move to the Firestore again and here you can see a start collection and it will frequently create a collection and a specific doc ID and will add one document after the another to that respective collection. Now let's move to the storage. Click on get started button. Now click on next. Again on done button. Now we'll need to change the security rules for that storage to. Now move to the rules and we'll again change from false to true. So here it is done. We have completely changed the settings for a Firestore and the storage. Now let's move to the Pub.dev because we need to add some of the packages from here to the Flutter code. So our first package name is Firebase core so that we can enable a Firebase in our Flutter app. So we'll move to the installing and we'll copy the dependency from here and we'll paste it inside the pub.xml file. Now I'll Now our second package name will be Cloud Firestore so that we can upload the data to the Firestore database. And our third package will be Firebase Storage to upload the images to the storage. And our fourth package will be random string so that we can provide a specific unique ID to our each images and the data or the documents that we upload to the Firestore database or to storage. So here it is done. Now run all the packages here. So we are facing a version error from our Cloud Firestore. So if you face this version error while copying the package from the Pub.dev to your Flutter app, then there would be some version problem, but do not need to worry. We just need to remove the version from the Cloud Firestore and it will automatically take a respective version that he wants for that respective package. So we'll remove the version from that respective package. Now let's run the file again. So here you can see that our package has been successfully installed to our Flutter app. Now let's move to the main.dart file and we need to add a few lines of the code here to enable the Firebase. So we'll write widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized. Now we'll write await Firebase dot initialize app. So here it is done. Now let's move to the admin login page and we'll add a backend to this page. So we'll first write our function name login admin and we'll write Firebase firestore.instance.collection and we'll write a collection name admin. Now dot get and through the snapshot we can get the data of that respective document that will be available in the admin collection. So we'll move to the Firebase and we'll first create a collection. So here in the Firestore database, I will write our collection name admin and will pass a random document ID and in the field name will pass the ID which will be the username for our admin login page will be Peter and the password 123456. So if you want to keep a unique password according to your wish, then you can change the detail from the Firebase. So here it is done. Now you can see admin collection and a document ID and in the result data ID I will get this word or the text that available in the field name ID. Now let me write a function so that we can check that if the user have entered the correct username or password or not. So we'll check that if the ID entered by the user is not equals to the text that the user entered in the username by using username controller.text, then we'll show the text your ID is not correct and we'll pass a style to this text widget by using text style. Now we'll copy this same command and we'll paste it here for the password and we'll check that if the user have entered the correct password or not and we'll pass the text that user your password is not correct. Now if both the command is false, I mean that If the user have entered the correct ID and the password, then we'll directly push the user to the add wallpaper page from where they can add the wallpaper. Now we'll create one more file in our admin folder which will be add wallpaper.dart where we'll directly push the user. So first we'll import the package and we'll create a stateful widget name add wallpaper. Now we'll call this function name add wallpaper here and we'll push the user to that respective dart file. Now, if you want to run the app in your iOS emulator, then we need to change the iOS version from our pod file. So we'll rename the version from 11 to 13. Now we'll write flutter clean and flutter run to run the app. So our app has launched successfully. Now I will enter the username here, which is Peter, and the password 123456. Now I'll click to the login button. I think so I forgot to call a login admin function in the login button. So I will write login admin function in our gesture director. Now we'll click to the login button again and here you can see that our login page is working brilliantly and we can directly move to the add wallpaper page from where we can now add the wallpaper to that respective category. Now let's move to the add wallpaper.dart file and here I will first create the app bar and in the leading will pass a gesture director and in the on tab function will pass a navigator.pop context because we are going to show a back arrow so that user can directly move to the admin login page again after adding the wallpaper. And will pass a customized color code to our back arrow. Now, after providing the customized color code, I will write title, text, add wallpaper, where we are going to show the our headline for this page, which will be add wallpaper, and will center the title with center title true and will provide the styling to this text widget by using text style. Now colors.black, font size 20.0 and font family Poppins. So here you can see the our headline for this add wallpaper page. Now I am going to create a column from where we can pick the image from our phone gallery and that image will be shown on this container. Now I will write container width and I want that the width to be 300. Now height 300. Now I will write decoration, box decoration. Now in the box decoration, first I will provide the border to my container. So I'll write border.all and will provide the color to the border. So we'll write colors.black. Now we'll provide the width to the border which is 1.5. So here it is done. Now let's move and we'll provide the border radius to the container. So we'll write border radius dot circular 20. Now I will write child icon icons dot camera alt outline and will show this icon so that we can suggest the user that by clicking this icon they can upload the image to their respective category. So here you can see the container. So our width and height is too much. So we'll change the width from 300 to 250. Now we'll wrap up a container with a material widget and we'll provide the elevation 4.0. Now we'll copy and paste the border radius here. Now I want to center the container here, so we'll wrap up with a center widget. So here it is done. Now we'll write size box height 20.0 because I want to provide the space from the top. So we'll write size box height 20.0. Now I will create a container where the user can select the respective category where he want to add this wallpaper. So I have already shown you the category in the home page. So I will add all that category in our drop down button, and through the drop down button the user can select the respective category and can upload the wallpaper to that category. So if you have followed my other series like e-commerce app, quiz app, then you already know to create a drop down button. So it will be very easy to understand the drop down button that I am going to code here. Now I will create a container, padding, and will provide the width and a customized color code in our decoration, box decoration. Now border radius dot circular 10. Now we'll write child and we'll provide the drop down button hide underline, and it will frequently remove the underline if it is visible in the drop down menu, and will provide the child drop down button and will pass the string here. Now in the items I am going to show all the categories list. So let's create the categories list first. Now in the final, I will first create the list name string and will name the list category items equals to, and will now in the category items I will write all the category like wildlife, foods, nature and city. So you can see this category in our home page where we have shown in the bottom navigation bar a category section, and there you can see this category items. Now in the item I will write category items dot map, and it will frequently shows me all the category list that will be present in this categories items, and through the drop down menu button I will show all the category name and will pass the string, and in the value item will keep on updating the string that have been selected by the user, and in the text item will show the respective item list and will provide the style text style font size 18.0 and the colors dot black. Now write dot to list so that it can frequently change the drop down button strings into the list. Now we'll call a onChange function because through the onChange function will update the value that the user select from this drop down button. So we'll write this dot value equals to value. So in the string we'll write value. Now in the onChange function I will write value, and through the set state and will keep on updating the value that been selected by the user through the drop down button. and will save that value to the respective string that I have just wrote here. So we'll write hint text and we'll pass the hint text here, and in the text I will write select category. Now to update the value, we'll write value is equals to value, and here we'll update the string value. Now if I'll select nature, then it frequently shows me a nature string, and if I select city, it will show me the city category. So it is working brilliantly, and through the drop down menu button we can select the respective category here. Now let's provide the margin from the left and right position. So we'll write margin edge insert dot only, and we provide the margin from the left and right position. We are going to create a customized button. So I will move to the admin login page and will copy the same button that we have created in our last part, and I will copy this login button and will paste it in the add wallpaper dart page, and will remove this function in the gesture director and will hot reload, and here you can see the button, and will change the text to add so that we can add the wallpaper. Now we need to provide some height from the top. So we'll write sizebox height 40.0. Now let's move, and we need the image picker package here, because when I'll tap to this camera icon, then it will frequently opens my phone gallery from where I need to pick the image, and that image will be shown in this container. So let's move to the Pub.dev and we'll search image picker here, and let's move to the installing, and we'll copy the package from here and we'll paste it inside the perspec.ml file. So here it is done. Now run the package. Now let's move to the add wallpaper.dart file again, and here I will first create a function for the image picker to pick the image. So I will write final image picker equals to image picker, and will write a file name selected image here, because the image that we will pick from our phone gallery will be in the form of the file. So we need to save that file in our selected image. So here I've created the file name selected image here. Now I will create a function name get image that will be called when the user will tap to this camera icon. Now we'll write var image equals to await picker dot pick image, and we are suggesting that to pick the image from the phone gallery. So I will write image source dot gallery. Now after picking the image from the gallery, I need to save the file in our selected image. So we'll pass the image path to our selected image. Now we'll write set state so that we can frequently update the selected image. So here I have wrote a image source dot gallery, but if you want to show that like the user can click the image from their phone camera and can upload the image, then you can write image source dot camera here, and you can see a two option camera and gallery. So I will choose gallery here. So it is done. Now we'll write if selected image is equals to null. It means that if the user haven't selected any of the image, then we'll show a camera icon here, and we'll wrap up with a gesture detector, and in the on tap function we'll call a get image function so that user can pick the image from their phone gallery. Now if the image has been picked by the user, then we'll show that selected image by using image.file widget. So if you have already followed my old series like chat app, to do app, e-commerce app or YouTube player app, then you already know the use of image picker in the Flutter app. We'll write fit boxfit.cover so that it can use a complete height and width of the container. So here it is done. So if selected image is equals to null, then we'll show a camera icon, and if the user have selected the image, then we'll show the selected image by using image.file widget. So it is very easy to understand the code that I have just wrote here. Now let's move to the image picker and we'll go to the readme section, and when you are running the app to your iOS device, then you need to add 3 commands to your info.plist file. So these are the 3 commands that you need to add in your info.plist file. There is nothing extra you need to add to run the app in your Android device. So let's move to the info.plist file and let me add this 3 command. So here I have added this 3 command. You can also write them in your info.plist file to run the app in your iOS device. Now as we have added a image picker widget now, so we need to run the app again. So first I will write flutter clean and flutter run to run the app. So our app has launched successfully. Now we need to fill the username Peter and the password 123456. Now click in the login button. Now I'll tap to this camera icon, and here it shows me option to pick the image from the phone gallery. Now I'll pick the image and it will frequently upload to this container. Now we need to provide the border radius. So you already know that to how to provide the border radius to the image by using a clip react widget. So here it is done. Now you can see that after selecting the category, there are the 4 options like wildlife, foods, nature and city. But many of the developers might do that they will write a for function to upload this image separately to each category. But I will do some smart work here. I will only write one function, and through that one function I will upload the image to the different category. It sounds really cool, but let me show you how I'll do that. It is very easy. Rather than writing each function for this each category. Now let's move and we'll create a new folder name service here, and inside the service folder I will create a new file name database.dart. Now we'll write class name database methods. Now we'll write future and we'll create a function name add wallpaper here, and we'll pass a map string dynamic user info map. Basically map string dynamic is something like our in our string we are going to upload the image, the category section where it will be in the form of the double inverted comma to indicate that it is string, and in the dynamic we can pass anything like http link or an number, string, boolean character. Basically dynamic accept everything and the string should be in the form of the double inverted comma. Don't worry, I will show you how to write a map string dynamic here while uploading the data to the Firestore database. Now we'll rename the map to wallpaper info map. So we'll need one more string name category here so that we can pass a category, and through that category we can pass each category here and can upload the wallpaper to that respective category. Now in the return I will write Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection, and in the collection we'll pass a category name, so we'll write category here, which will be wildlife, foods, nature, city, and in the doc id we'll pass a unique id, and by using the set method we'll upload the map to that respective category. Now we'll create a function name upload item here, and we'll write if selected image is not equals to null, it means that the user have selected the image to upload the image to the Firebase storage. Now we'll write string add id here, so that we can provide a unique id to the each image that will upload to the Firebase storage. Now I'll write reference Firebase storage ref equals to Firebase storage dot instance dot reference, and will name the folder name blog images here, and will pass a unique id. Now we'll write final upload task equals to Firebase storage ref dot put file. Basically put file will help us to get the selected image that is in the form of the file, so we are using a dot put file function. Now we'll write var download url, and we'll get the url link of that respective image that we want to upload in the Firebase storage, and we can use that link to show the image in the Firebase Firestore. So we'll write dot get download URL. Now we'll create a map string dynamic here that I was talking about. So we'll name the map add item. Now in the double inverted comma we have wrote image that is in the form of the string, and in the download URL it will be the HTTP link. So we are passing the dynamic here in the download URL, and id is same string, and add id is our random alphanumeric character, so we can pass it to the dynamic again. So that's why I have wrote map string dynamic. Now it clears the point, the reason to write map string dynamic. Now we'll write await database methods dot add wallpaper function, and we'll pass add item, which is our map, and in the id we'll pass a unique id, so we'll write add id, and in the category we will pass the category that the user have selected, so which will be saved in the value string, as you can see here. Now I want to show the toast message, which will suggest the user that if their data has been uploaded to the Firebase Firestore. So we need a Flutter Toast package. So let's move to the Pub.dev, and we'll copy the Flutter Toast package from here, and we'll paste it inside the pub.xml file. Now run the package. Now let's move to the Flutter Toast again, and we'll copy this code from here, and we'll paste it in the add wallpaper.dart file. So after uploading the wallpaper to that respective category, we going to show the toast message. So we'll use dot then method. Now in the message we'll write wallpaper has been uploaded successfully. So here it is done. You can also change the background color of this toast message. So I'm writing dot green, and you can also increase the toast length. So I will write toast dot length long. Now I want to show the text message in the bottom. So I will write dot bottom. So here it is done. Now let's rerun the app by using the flutter run command. Now our app has launched successfully and we need to enter the username and the password. So I will enter username Peter and the password 123456. Now I'll click to the login button and will directly move to the add wallpaper page. Now we need to select the image from our phone gallery by clicking this camera icon. Now let's pick the image from the phone gallery. So here is the image. Now we need to select the category. So I'm going to select nature here and will click to the add button. I think so. I forgot to call a upload item in our gesture detector. So we'll call the upload item function in our gesture detector. So now we'll hot reload it again and we'll click to the add button here. So here you can see the toast message wallpaper has been added successfully. Now let's move to the Firebase and we'll check that if the Firebase have created a nature collection. So we'll refresh the page and here you can see the nature collection with a specific doc ID and the image that we have just uploaded from our emulator. So it is working brilliantly and we'll open this image link and you can see exactly this image that we have just uploaded from the emulator. Now we'll move to the storage section and here you can see the blog images folder, and in this folder here you can see the file of that respective image. So we can upload the image to the Firestore database and the storage. Now I will just change the category here. So I will choose wildlife, and as I've told you before that through just one function I will use a different category and the app will make a different collection by using that single function, and this may help me to not write lots of code in the VS Code. Now I will choose wildlife and will click to the add button, and the app will create a separate collection for wildlife automatically by using the single function. So wallpaper has been added successfully. Now let's refresh the page and here you can see the wildlife category with a specific doc ID and the image that we have just uploaded from our emulator. So our function is working brilliantly and we can select any of the category here, and through that category it can create a separate collection for that category by a single function. So this was the smart work that I was talking about. By single function you can upload the wallpaper to that respective image and it will create a separate collection for that category where the user want to upload the wallpaper. Now let's move to the user side, I mean in the home page, and we'll move to the category section and we'll show all the wallpaper that we have just uploaded from our admin panel. So we'll move to the pages folder and we'll create a new file name all wallpaper.dart where we are going to show the wallpaper for that respective category. And here I will first create a stateful widget name all wallpaper. So in this Dart file, I will show the wallpaper to that respective category what the user select from this categories page. So if they will select the wildlife, then we are going to show the wildlife category, and if they select food, then food, and same for the other. So here I will write scaffold, now body, container, child, column children. Now we'll paste the same headline that we have wrote in our categories page, and here in the text widget we are going to show the category that the user select. But before that, let's add the margin here. Now I will write string category so that we can get the respective category that the user will select by tapping from the categories page, and will write widget.category so that we can get the respective category. Now I want to show the wallpaper that is saved on the Firebase Firestore, and through the stream builder I am going to show all the wallpaper in our each category. So here I will write all wallpaper function and will call this all wallpaper function in our column widget so that we can show all the wallpaper in our grid view. And here I will write stream and will create a stream name, category stream. Now in the builder I will write context async snapshot, and through the snapshot will get the respective collection name and the documents that will present in that respective collection. So if you have followed my other series, then you already know the use of stream builder and how to create a stream builder in your Flutter code. Now we'll write return snapshot dot has data and we'll check that if the data is present in that respective collection or not. So if the data will be present, then we'll show a grid view dot builder. Basically, the grid view is something that we have already used in our search page, and that exact design we are going to show in our categories page. Now we'll write context index so that we can get the index of that respective document, and if the snapshot didn't have any data, then we'll show just a container, and we'll write document snapshot ds snapshot dot data.docs index, and in the ds will pass the respective index of that document. Now in the return we will write container, and in the grid delegate will copy the same design that we have wrote for the search page. Sliver grid delegate with fixed cross axis count, and will pass the cross axis count to here because we are going to show the two images in the row position, and will copy the same aspect ratio and the spacing from our search page and will paste it here in all wallpaper dart file, and it will give me that exactly spacing from the main and cross position that I have shown you in the search page. So here it is done. Now we'll pass item count so that we can show the length of that documents in that respective collection. Now in the container, now in the image.network, I will write ds and will get the image of that respective document, I mean wallpaper. Now our image is in the form of the HTTP link. That's why I'm going to use image.network here, and to provide the border radius to the image, I will use a creep react widget and we'll write border radius dot circular 10. So here it is done. We have created a all wallpaper function to show all the wallpaper to that respective category. Now we are going to create a function in a database.dart file so that we can call that function in our stream builder and we can show that document that will present in the respective collection that the user will select from the categories page. So again, I am not going to write a for function for a for category, but I will use just a one function name get category, and through this just one function I will get the respective documents that will present in the collection name wildlife, foods, nature and city. So let me show how I will do that. So I will write future and here I will write stream query snapshot. Basically, stream query snapshot will help us to get the documents that will present in the respective collection, and in the get category will pass a category name like wildlife foods that I have just told you now, and in the return I will write await firebase firestore dot instance dot collection, and here I will pass a string name here which will be the category name dot snapshot, and through the dot snapshot we'll get the document, and here you can see the nature category, and in the nature category it will show give me the documents that will present here. Now let's move to the all wallpaper.dart file, and here I will write a function name get on the load. Now we'll write await category stream equals to await database methods dot get category, and we are going to pass the category that the user will select by using widget dot category, and will set state. Now let's call the get on the load function in the init state. Get on the load function will be called as soon as this app or the page launches. Now let's call the all wallpaper function in our column widget. Here it is done, and we have wrote a complete code to show the category. Now let's move to the categories.dart file, and we need to push the user to the all wallpaper.dart file. So in the gesture director we'll write on tab function, and we'll write navigator.push material page root context, and will push the user to the all wallpaper page, and in the category we'll write a category name so that we can know that if the user have selected which category from this categories page and what documents we need to show from the Firebase. So let me add all the navigator function in our categories. So here it is done. Now let's move to the all wallpaper.dart file, and we need to wrap up the all wallpaper function in a expanded widget so that it can use a complete height of our phone device. So we'll move to the categories section, and we'll tap to the nature category, and here you can see the our headline of this page has been changed to nature, and here it is showing me all the images that have been saved in our nature collection through the Firebase. Now here you can see the image, but I want that the image to use a complete height and width of the container. So we'll write fit boxfit.cover in our image.network widget and will hot reload, and here you can see the complete image or the wallpaper in our natures category. Now let's remove the space from the top. So we'll move to the grid view.builder and we'll pass the padding as inset.0, and it will frequently remove the padding from the top, and we'll write size box height 10.0. Now let's provide the margin from the left and right side. So we'll write margin and we'll provide the margin from left and right position. So here it looks good. Now we can see the wallpaper in our nature collection. Now let's provide some more space from the main axis and cross axis. So here it's look good, and these are all the wallpapers that we have just uploaded from the admin panel. So you can see that in our wallpaper app, the user can upload the customized wallpaper through the admin panel that will be shown in the user app, and if the user want to search for that respective wallpaper, then they can also use a search bar to search the wallpaper. Though I have seen many of the videos in the YouTube where they have made the wallpaper app from the scratch by using Flutter, but I have seen many of them are using the just API to show the wallpaper in their Flutter app. But I have thought that let's provide some more feature in this wallpaper app and make it more interesting. So that's why I've added the admin panel in this wallpaper app so that the admin can also upload the customized wallpaper to that respective category, and that will look really cool and add some more interesting features in this wallpaper app. So if you haven't hit that like button down below, then I have a request from you, because I am giving my best to explain you in as easy way as possible. So you can hit that like button down below, or if you want to show the some support to the channel or want to donate to the channel, you can find the GPay and the PayPal link in the description box. Now let's move to the code. Now let's move to the search bar and we'll search nature here, and by typing to this search icon, it will show me all the images or the wallpaper related to the search item that I have searched. Now I want that when I will tap to the respective image, then I can set that image as the wallpaper, which is our main perspective of making this wallpaper app. Now, if I will tap to this image, then it will cover a complete height and width of my phone device, and I can see this image clearly how it will look in my home screen of my phone device, basically as a wallpaper in my phone device. We'll create one more dart file in our pages folder, which name will be fullscreen.dart, and first we'll import the package and we'll write a stateful widget name full screen. Now we'll write scaffold and body stack children, and through the hero widget we are going to pass the link of that respective wallpaper that will be shown in this dart file. So when I will tap to this image, then it will frequently pass me the HTTP link of this image, the full screen.dart file. So to get this HTTP link, we'll first write a string here, and in the string we'll write image path, which will suggest the image path link, and in the full screen we'll get the image path Now in the tag will pass the image path. Basically hero widget will help us to fit the image completely in our phone device. Now in the child I will write container height media query dot of context dot size dot height, and same for the width, which will help us to use a complete height and width of the screen. Now in the child of the container we are going to pass a Kakek network, because you know that our image is in the form of the link. So in the image URL will pass widget.image path and fit boxfit.cover to use a complete height and width of the container. Now I will write container here again, because we are going to use a stack widget to show the image first, and just above this image there will be a button suggesting the user to set this image as a wallpaper, and just below this button there will be one more text named cancel, so that they can cancel this image and can directly move to the search page again. Now to show the customize button, I will write container, and let's create the customize button name set wallpaper here, and then I will show you what all things I have wrote in the full screen dart file. So I have wrote a complete code for the customize button name set wallpaper. Now I want to push the user by clicking this any of the wallpaper from the search page to the all wallpaper.dart file. In our widget.dart file, we'll first wrap up a hero widget with a gesture director, and in the onTap function, we'll again use a navigator function to push the image to the full screen.dart file, and the image path we can pass the image URL or the tag. So we'll write photos model.src.portrait. Now when I will tap to this image, then you can see the image have used a complete height and width of our phone device, and it shows that how our wallpaper will look alike when we'll set them in our phone device. So it is looking really good. So our button is at the top. Now let's bring to the bottom. So we'll write column main axis alignment dot center, and here you can see the container, but I need to bring the container to the bottom of the screen, so we'll write dot end here. Now let's provide the margin from the bottom, so we'll write margin from the bottom is 50.0. Now let's give some more styling to the text that is shown in this button. So we'll first provide the font family, and we'll increase the font size and the height of the container. So let me provide some more styling to this container. So here it is done, and you can now see the our set wallpaper button clearly, and just below this set wallpaper text it is clearly written that image will be saved in a gallery. So by tapping to this button the image will be directly saved in a user phone gallery, and through that image that have been saved in the gallery they can set them as their wallpaper in their phone device. Now let's create one more text below this button which will be cancel, so that user can tap to this cancel text and can pop out this image and can directly move to the search.dart file again and can search for that another image that they want to set them as a wallpaper. Now we'll wrap it with a gesture detector, and in the on tap function we'll write navigator dot pop context. So through this function we can directly pop out this wallpaper, and when I'll tap to this cancel button you can see that the image pop out and it directly move to the search page. And now we can see for the another image and can set them as a wallpaper. Now let's search beach here, and here you can see the wallpaper related to the beach category, and let's tap to any of the image and it will frequently use a complete height and width of the screen, and you can see the two icons clearly, and you can search any of the search item and can do set them as the wallpaper. Now I want that this image to be set as the wallpaper in my phone device after clicking to this set wallpaper button. Now let's add the execution or the process to save this image in the gallery so that user can set this image as a wallpaper in their phone device. Now to execute this function, we need to add the some packages from the Pub.dev to our pub.xml file. So here comes our first package name, which is image save to gallery. As the name says of this package that the image will be directly saved to the gallery, so we'll search this package, and here you can see the package name image gallery saver. Now I'll copy this package name and will paste it inside the pub.xml file. Now we need a second package name which is do. Basically do package will help us to get this http link and the network package of this image and help this image to save them in our phone gallery. So we'll copy this package from here and we'll paste it inside the pub.xml file. Now run all the packages. Now let's move to the full screen.dart file and will create a function name save that will be executed when we'll press this set wallpaper button. So here you can see that I have added a save function, and let's call all the packages like do and the image gallery saver in our dart file, and so this function will help us to save the image in our phone gallery. You can pause the video and can write this save function from here. Now let's move to the gesture director and we'll call the save function. So here it is done. Now as you know that we have already added two packages in our pub.xml file, so we need to run the complete app here by using flutter run command. So let's run the app. So our app has launched successfully. Now let's move to the search bar and we'll search London here and we'll click to the search icon. Now we can select any of the wallpaper from here. Now, for an example, let's select this image and we'll click to the Set Wallpaper button. Now let's move to the phone gallery and we'll check that if the image has been saved in our phone gallery or not. So we'll move to the photos and you can see the image that we have just saved from our wallpaper app, and image has been directly saved in our phone gallery. So our app is working brilliantly and our image has been directly saved in our phone gallery. Now we can set this image as a wallpaper in our phone device. Now let's move to the app again and add some more images in our phone gallery. So I will search Red Fort here, and here I will pick the image and will save them in our phone gallery by using Set Wallpaper button. Now let's move and we'll check in the gallery again, and here you can see the image that have been directly saved in our phone gallery. So it is working brilliantly and we can set any of the images as a wallpaper in our phone device by using the search bar, or we can also add this customized wallpaper that the admin upload in the different categories. So this was the process to save the image in your iOS or iPhone device. But if you want to save the image in your Android gallery, then you need to go to the main and Android manifest.xml file, and here you need to add some command in this file. So here you can see this command that I have just added, and this command will ask the permission to save the image in the user's phone gallery. After adding this permission, you need to go to the app info and enable the storage permission from there. So do not forget to enable the storage permission from the app info of this wallpaper app to save the image in your Android device. So we have made a wallpaper app from scratch. I hope that you love this video. I have tried my best to explain you in the easiest way as possible. So you have 7th app to your app bucket list by following our tutorial in our YouTube channel, which is totally free. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button till now, then please subscribe to the channel because it will help us to bring some more awesome apps on this channel. So our top donator name is Priyanka Bhatt. Thanks for donating 200 rupees to the channel. So if you want to also donate and want to show some support, you can find the link of GPay or PayPal in the description box. Until then, keep coding, keep having fun. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.